Let's go to Michael Shank. He's an expert on climate change and policy, also an adjunct professor of sustainable development at New York University. So, Michael, it is hot. That is for sure. What makes this heat different from the past heat waves we've seen?
Well, unfortunately, this is the new normal. These aren't abnormal temperatures anymore. These aren't extreme temperatures anymore, because these are the new normals. We're breaking records year after year after year, summer after summer after summer, and month after month after month. May of this year was the hottest May on record. So the more we continue to burn fossil fuels, the hotter it will get, which is why obviously we need to keep it in the ground and burn fewer fossil fuels so it doesn't get hotter. But these are the new norms. So cities and national governments have to prepare accordingly to save lives, because as your segment noted already, people are dying from this heat, and this heat will be around for some time to come.
Are there regions of the world, Michael, that are perhaps more more prone to suffer in this heat wave?
Well, as your segment already noted, Gulf states, parts of the subcontinent, South Asia, Southeast Asia, et cetera, are seeing really intolerable heat waves. People can't live in India, the India of the future, based on estimates of where we're going with heat. But in the United States, as Jim already noted, we're seeing the northern parts of the country get hotter than ever before. And these are places that didn't need AC before. So as one testimony in the segment, they didn't have AC. So when a citizen doesn't have AC, where do they go? Which is why cities are setting up cooling centers. They're setting up resilience hubs where people can go to cool down and get what they need. And so you're seeing cities rapidly try to respond to growing heat waves in terms of numbers so that we can save lives. Last year alone, we lost 2,300 Americans from heat-related causes alone, and those numbers will only increase. And so cities are responding, national governments need to respond. We don't have, for example, a heat standard for worker safety in the US. We don't have the ability to declare a disaster for heat. So these are all things that the federal government can do here, but also cities can roll out cooling centers, resilience hubs, and you're seeing more and more cities build out chief heat officers so that they can focus the entire city's attention to these heat-related incidences and the risks that come from it.
And it's not just the heat or the soaring temperatures. We've seen torrential downpours, floods, massive landslides in places like northern China.
Yeah, so the heat is drying out climate and causing wildfires, which was also in this segment. But similarly, the hotter the atmosphere, the hotter the air, the hotter the temperature, the more able it is to hold moisture. And so we're getting these torrential downpours too, because the air is hotter, it's able to hold more moisture, and then we get these heavy rains causing the flooding. So again, all of this, if folks are wondering what they can do, in the short term, they can stay cool about extreme heat and get the help they need and hydrate and vegetate. More tree canopy in the cities, the better. That will cool the urban heat island effect. And then in the long term, we just need to stop burning these fossil fuels, because every time we burn more, it gets hotter.
And is that what we really need to do? Is that the first step in mitigating the impact, the devastating impact of climate change?
Yeah, so if folks are wondering, what do I do about this so I don't have to live with this summer after summer after summer? Again, getting cool as quickly as possible in your city, whether it's a cooling center, a resilience hub, or reaching out and building a chief heat officer in your city, because a lot of cities, as I mentioned, are building chief heat officers. But then thinking about what we can do locally, nationally, to stop burning fossil fuels, because again, that will only make the problem worse.
And this will also make things a lot more difficult for firefighters who are fighting flames in New Mexico and California.
That's right. So these are compounding effects. And again, why national governments need to have heat standards for worker safety, because a lot of people are working outside right now and imperiling their life as a result of it. But then disaster declarations around heat can free up national resources, federal resources to respond to moments like these too.
All right, Michael Shank, thank you very much. Stay cool.